Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a murder trial postponed again at the last minute in Matagorda County. The reason behind the delay. Plus, a Victoria ISD administrator is arrested for DWI following a crash Sunday night. And multiple departments battle a grass fire on Highway 77, impacting drivers between Hallettsville and Victoria.
Well, after the weekend rains, we got some very pleasant weather today. We're going to have fall-like temperatures, getting cool at night and mild in the daytime. We'll be talking about how long this will last coming up in a moment.
And road work begins on a flood-prone Victoria County roadway. What drivers need to know about the project. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie. The trial for Fernando Acosta Jr. was scheduled to start today, but it's been delayed again due to unexpected complications. A status conference is now set for later this week as the case moves forward. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley was at the Matagorda County Courthouse today and has the latest.
The trial for Fernando Acosta Jr. was supposed to start today, but is delayed due to complications. The state of Texas is asking for a motion of continuance because of a scheduling conflict with the Corpus Christi firearms expert David Curtis. Matagorda County District Attorney's Office investigator Justin Currie has reached out to Curtis to inform him that the trial is set for this Monday morning. Amid Curtis's scheduling conflict, Curtis has been on administrative leave since March of this year. Investigator Currie reached out to the Texas Department of Public Safety Crime Laboratory Firearms Division to possibly retest the evidence, and if expedited, a report could be complete in 90 days. Acosta's attorneys aren't taking any part of the continuance and stated they're ready for the trial to start. On Wednesday, September 3rd, Judge Fortenberry granted the motion of continuance for the state. Acosta was indicted on May 21st, 2021 for the murder of Amanda Johnson. Her remains were found in a burned SUV in Matagorda County. Johnson was found in midfield by Texas Rangers in the state fire marshal's office. Amanda Johnson was a single mother of two. She previously worked at a health club and was an elementary school teacher at Victoria ISD. She was just 38 years old. A status conference will be held Wednesday, December 3rd at 9 a.m. at the Matagorda County Courthouse. Reporting from Matagorda County, Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
One person is dead and 5 others hurt after a shooting at a Liberty County bar early Sunday. Deputies say it happened just before 2:30 at Las Locas near Cleveland. The suspect showed up around midnight, had a drink, then later went to his van before returning and opening fire on the patio. 6 people were shot, 2 flown to the hospital in critical condition. Officials say the shooter fled in a white van with no windows and a long scratch down the side. Investigators are reviewing surveillance video. New Orleans police have arrested the mother of a 12-year-old boy nearly 2 weeks after his body was found in a lagoon. Hilda Vasquez faces charges of second-degree cruelty to a juvenile and negligent homicide. Investigators say her son, Brian Vasquez, who had a history of severe abuse and injuries dating back to infancy, disappeared from his bedroom on August 14th. The coroner says an alligator killed him. Police collected Vasquez's phone as evidence, and she was scheduled to appear in court today. A Victoria ISD principal is accused of driving while intoxicated. Roland Elementary principal Sarah Young was arrested Sunday night after a single vehicle wreck on North Navarro. Police say she failed field sobriety tests at the scene. The district confirms they are aware of the arrest, but they are not saying if she's been placed on leave or what this means for her role at the school. A smoke alarm this afternoon forced the evacuation of Allo Elementary. With all students and staff already safely evacuated, firefighters found a small amount of smoke in 2 rooms. According to officials, it was from a burned air conditioner blower belt. The building was cleared and first responders stayed on scene to help with a safe dismissal. No one was hurt. The Victoria County Sheriff's Office, Victoria Fire Department, and Quail Creek Volunteer Fire Department responded. A grass fire has shut down a Crossroads highway. A grass fire is burning in the 2400 block of Highway 77 South, and multiple fire departments are on scene trying to get it under control. DPS has blocked traffic on Highway 77 and FM 318. So if you're headed toward Victoria from Hallettsville, you will want to find an alternate route. Well, cooler temperatures are sneaking into the forecast, but still pretty warm out there by the afternoon. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez for a first look at our forecast this week. Mac?
Thank you, Shawna. Well, after the rain on Sunday, we have some nice weather. Now, you'll feel it at night and in the morning when it'll be fairly cool and comfortable. Of course, the drier air filtered down all the way into our region. This front should have stayed up here, giving us additional rain today, but that's okay. It dropped all the way down to the valley where they got some shower activity. We got the dry air. How long will it be here? A couple of days, and then we'll get back to regular stuff. But it's a nice change in the environment for us, something we haven't seen since, I don't know, May. We'll talk more about what to expect for the rest of the week coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
A well-traveled Victoria County road will see improvements to reduce flooding issues. Victoria County Precinct 4 Commissioner Kenneth Sexton says crews will be cleaning ditches and installing more than 50 new culverts along Old Highway Road west of Telfiner to help stop the frequent flooding. Commissioner Sexton asks everyone to be patient and drive carefully while the work is underway. These upgrades should make a wet commute a lot less of a headache.
Lowering the speed limit in the work zone area. The contractor is going to move signs with where he's working, and we'll just ask in that zone to slow down to 25 miles an hour just because there'll be people and equipment. It shouldn't hamper, driving or anything.
Sexton says the work will begin next Monday and last about 4 to 5 weeks. So for our viewer poll today, we're asking, will the ditch cleaning and culvert improvements along Old Highway Road make a significant difference in your driving experience? Do you feel it will reduce the flooding issues, making driving safer through there? Or no, do you feel that flooding would still be a problem, or are you unsure? Right now, 88% of voters feel that the ditch cleaning and the culverts will be beneficial to helping reduce that flooding. 12% not sure. We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to let us know. Barring court intervention, many Texans may be voting in new congressional districts in the upcoming 2026 midterms. A lookup tool shows how your districts may have changed. To read the full Texas Tribune article, come to crossroadstoday.com. Chicago is bracing for the possible arrival of federal troops. President Trump has threatened to send the National Guard there as soon as today on his claim to control crime. And it also comes during the administration's immigration crackdown. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details from Washington.
Today, fences are up around federal buildings in Chicago as the city braces for the possible arrival of National Guard troops. Similar to his deployment of troops in Washington, D.C., the president claims federal law enforcement is necessary to crack down on crime. And this morning on social media, the president claimed the nation's capital is now a safe zone. Violent crime in D.C. hit a 30-year low before the federal takeover, according to Washington's Metropolitan Police. But over the weekend, Trump shared this manipulated photo of himself depicted from the movie Apocalypse Now, with a caption that reads, "I love the smell of deportations in the morning," and Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War. Chicago's mayor responded by saying Trump wants to occupy our city and break our Constitution. Trump later changed his tone.
We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities.
Thousands of people in Chicago and D.C. protested the administration's threats over the weekend. And in Aurora, Illinois, outside of Chicago, attendance was down at its annual Mexican Independence Day parade.
He wants everyone to be afraid. He loves to see that people are afraid.
The Department of Homeland Security says ICE raids are now underway elsewhere, including in Boston and Georgia, where authorities detained more than 300 South Korean nationals working at a Hyundai plant. South Korea had previously promised to invest $350 billion in the U.S. Trump is now trying to reassure the East Asian ally by proposing foreign companies help train Americans for jobs.
ICE was doing right because they were here illegally. But we do have to work something out where we bring in experts so that our people can be trained so that they can do it themselves.
Regarding Trump's use of the National Guard, last week a federal judge in California ruled the president's deployment to Los Angeles during the ICE protests was illegal, essentially saying federal troops cannot be used for regular law enforcement activities. The administration has appealed that ruling. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
2 winning tickets for that giant Powerball jackpot were sold over the weekend, one in Missouri and the other in Fredericksburg, Texas. It is the second biggest jackpot in U.S. history, worth more than $1 billion. The winners can choose to take the money spread out over time or grab a big lump sum up front. And they weren't the only lucky ones. Several other players across the country also scored million-dollar prizes. I forgot to get my ticket, so that's why I didn't win. Well, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. A setback for Middle East peace talks as violence erupts in Jerusalem. Plus, global warming threatens to increase diabetes and heart disease risks. The unexpected way the heat is changing what we eat. At least 6 people are dead and 17 hurt after gunmen opened fire at a Jerusalem bus stop. Police say 2 suspects were arrested. A third is in custody. As ABC's Rena Roy reports, the attack comes as fighting in Gaza intensifies.
Panic and chaos at this Jerusalem bus stop after Israeli officials say a pair of gunmen opened fire on the people waiting before then boarding the bus. You can see people running from the scene. Authorities say at least 6 people were killed and 17 others injured. Bullet holes seen in the windows of the bus. This medic says he was the first to arrive on scene and he saw people lying on the ground, bleeding and running in every direction.
Police say the 2 attackers were killed at the scene after an off-duty soldier and civilians fired at them.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying we will catch everyone who helped them and sent them, and we will take even tougher steps. Over the weekend, Israel pounding Gaza City, killing at least 150 people, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. Relentless strikes destroying a number of high-rise apartments. Many Palestinians also dying from starvation. President Trump on Sunday said he was giving Hamas his last warning to accept his terms to end the war with Israel. But he also gave Hamas a last warning 6 months ago. Hamas claiming they want to negotiate, reiterating their terms to end the war permanently, including the IDF leaving the Gaza Strip and the installation of an entity to govern the Strip.
President Trump has seemed optimistic about ceasefire negotiations, saying that Israel and Hamas could sign a deal on Gaza very soon, but that was before this morning's attack, which could harden positions. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
A New Hampshire man is the latest American to receive an experimental pig kidney transplant, and he's already back to work just 3 months later. Bill Stewart, who calls himself a science nerd, says he wanted to help advance the research. Doctors at Massachusetts General say he's doing extremely well. His surgery comes as the U.S. gets ready to launch larger trials of animal to human transplants, which could be a game changer for patients waiting on donor organs. A new study finds that as the planet warms, Americans are reaching for more sugary foods and drinks. Researchers in Wales tracked families' grocery purchases from 2004 to 2019 and compared them with the weather outside. They found that hotter days led to more sodas, juice, and ice cream. If global warming continues, sugar intake could rise even more, possibly adding a few grams a day. Scientists warn this could increase risks for heart disease, diabetes, and other health problems, though more research is needed to fully understand the link. Well, September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. The disease causes red blood cells to form abnormally, blocking blood flow and often requiring life-saving transfusions. The Red Cross says a new trend is helping strengthen the blood supply for patients. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither talks with a woman living with sickle cell about why it's critical for her survival.
At just 4 years old, Kelly Bernard Igwe says a blood clot in her brain caused her to suffer a stroke,
which resulted in a limp, walking with a limp on the left side of my body.
Born with sickle cell disease, sometimes called sickle cell anemia, she's one of more than 100,000 Americans whose blood cells sickle into a crescent-like shape, causing blood flow disruptions to the body. Those who have this disease depend on blood transfusions for survival. For Bernard Igwe, it's a way to avoid having another stroke.
I think I've received over 800 transfusions in my lifetime.
More than 90% of those affected by sickle cell disease are non-Hispanic, Black, or African American, and about 1 in every 365 African American babies are born with it. Each may require blood transfusions throughout their lifetime. The American Red Cross says blood donors who are Black are almost 3 times more likely than other donors to be a compatible match for these patients, and blood donations from Black Americans have recently rebounded, reversing a concerning decline thanks to the organization's Sickle Cell Initiative, which has collected over 7,300 pints of blood since 2021 through drives at historically Black colleges and universities, benefiting patients like Bernard Igwe, who's now a registered nurse with a doctorate.
With the blood donation, I'm able to live a normal life.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
With sickle cell patients needing more transfusions in the winter, the Red Cross is launching over 750 blood drives this fall through its Joined by Blood initiative. It helps patients feel supported and shows donors the impact they can make. Plus, anyone who donates by September 21st can snag a limited edition Peanuts t-shirt while supplies last.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. 90 degrees right about now. I think that's our high temperature, which puts us in the weather that we had last May, okay? So enjoy the cooler weather that we're getting. That was our high temperature. We didn't get any rain, obviously, today, Monday, but we thought we were because of that front, but it kept going south. And so all the rain was down the valley. We'll talk more about what to expect for the rest of the week coming up after this. Well, we had a very interesting weekend. Saturday, I think, pulled out, but Sunday, obviously, the rain was significant and good. We had anywhere from 3 inches of rain at the airport officially, but out in Lolita, we got reports of up to 6 inches, so it was pretty significant. Now, we thought it was going to keep raining today. That's why we had the alert for Monday. But the rain actually just kept moving southward, and therefore we didn't get anything other than the dry air that filtered in today. But as you can see down south, at Corpus Christi, down to the valley, they got heavy rain as the frontal system is sort of stalled down there. For the big picture you see here, fall weather in the Midwest, they're having a great time. They're having a great time in California because the beginning of the Pacific storm season seems like it's getting going a little earlier. And so these storms are going to bring in much needed beneficial rain and snow to the mountains of the western states. But as far as we're concerned, this is important now that we have such lovely weather. It's the beginning of the hummingbird migration. Yes, this month through October, we're going to see the tiny little birds this big fly from where? North Dakota all the way to Mexico and Latin America. How they do that, I don't know. How they don't get lost, but they'll be passing through our area, so keep your eyes on the lookout for the passing of the hummingbird season through our area, and they're absolutely gorgeous if you can, get up close and get a nice picture. And of course, you can feed them with a 4-to-1 ratio of water to plain sugar. Leave it out there. They need the energy because they got a long way to go. So that's something we can sort of enjoy over the next couple of weeks. Now, here's the rain that occurred in deep South Texas today. You can see I was all south of Corpus Christi all the way down, and they're getting really what I thought we were going to get on Monday, but it dropped maybe 200 miles south. But that's all right. We had plenty of rain over the weekend, and today they got some nice rain. They of course need it as much as we do. That frontal system will stall there, and it'll eventually come back up. And when it does come back up, it will bring us back that humidity that we're not missing, actually. Here's where they got most of the rain. You can see right there, Corpus Christi through Falfurrias all the way down to Rio Grande Valley. So we look out in the Atlantic. It's actually quiet. There was that big thing right here that we thought was going to get organized. Did not, fell apart. So it just fell apart, and all of a sudden it's quiet in the Atlantic. In the Pacific, well, we've got Kiko that's going to be passing about 200 miles north of Hawaii. They're not going to get a direct hit, which is good, but they are going to get some strong winds and some big heavy surf. So I guess the surfers are going to enjoy that, but no direct hit for them, and that's good. Here's another one that's going to be forming, and right now it's a little bit of a concern because obviously when they take that right turn into Mexico, it's a problem. This one is going to be real close to the coast, so places, the resort areas like Acapulco are going to have to watch that very, very carefully. So tomorrow, lovely weather. Tomorrow with a 93 as a high, low humidity. Very nice for Wednesday, but Thursday, that front comes back and gives us a few clouds and a very slight chance of an afternoon shower or two. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Shawna.
Still to come, home buyers are walking away from deals at record rates. We'll take a look at the hidden costs that are catching families off guard. Positive day to start the week on Wall Street. All three major indexes making gains. The Dow up 114 points, the S&P 500 up 14 points, and the Nasdaq up 98 points. The price of oil is up 56 cents to $62.43 per barrel. Wall Street heading into the new week expecting cuts to interest rates. After Friday's report showing just 22,000 jobs created last month, experts now think the Fed will cut rates at next week's meeting and could add more cuts in October and December. Dick's Sporting Goods has officially acquired Foot Locker, giving the combined company a presence in over 3,200 stores and e-commerce platforms across 20 countries. Dick's will keep operating Foot Locker's brands, including Kids Foot Locker, Champs Sports, WSS, and Atmos, under a new leadership team. Ed Stack will lead the global Foot Locker business, with Ann Freeman heading North America and a new president soon to be named for international operations. Home buying anxiety in an uncertain economy. A recent report shows home purchases are getting canceled at a record rate. In July, roughly 1 in 7 home buys in the U.S. failed. That's according to a Redfin analysis of pending sales data. Michael Yoshida has more on what is causing buyers to back out of the deal.
Roughly 58,000 U.S. home purchase agreements were canceled in July, according to a Redfin analysis of pending sales data.
Part of that has to do with volatility in interest rates and home buyers just getting cold feet about how much they're paying.
Redfin's Daryl Fairweather says one of those sticker shocks for would-be buyers, rising insurance costs.
You often don't know how much you're going to be paying in insurance until after your offer is accepted. So that can be a bit of a shock if you get this big insurance payment, or maybe you can't find insurance at all. That can definitely cause a deal to fall through.
Another thing that could be at play, the balance of power in the housing market shifting towards buyers. With more homes to choose from compared to just a few years ago, people looking for a new house may not feel in a rush. And if during the inspection period they discover an issue they don't want to fix, or if a better home comes up for sale, then they could feel more comfortable backing out of the deal.
This is not good news for sellers, because if a deal falls through and they have to put the home back on the market, it's kind of like a scarlet letter, because future buyers think that there might be something potentially wrong with the home.
Fairweather says a shaky jobs market and economy is also causing some to hold off on a new long-term financial commitment, choosing to stay in their current house or even move to a rental until there's more economic certainty and stability. In Washington, Michael Yoshida.
Surfing dogs make waves for charity. Coming up next, the competition that combines ocean fun with animal rescue.
Takes aim at Chicago, threatening to send the National Guard to the city. Plus, frightening moments. The passenger jet appearing to lose its landing gear as it hits the runway. Passengers evacuating. World News Tonight with David Muir is the most watched newscast in America.
The longest running dog surfing competition is back. Dozens of pups hit the waves Sunday at San Diego's Surfathon, raising money for orphan pets at the Helen Woodward Animal Center. It's the only surf dog event where all of the proceeds go to pets in need. I'm sure that definitely makes it very attractive for those that get involved. Some competitors like James Wall and his rescue dog Faith have been riding waves together for 13 years, and their antics even brighten strangers' days online. Sun, surf, and saving lives. Doesn't get much better than that.
You know what amazes me? It's not even breed specific. I thought, you know, Labradors, okay, fine, I could.
Sure.
It's all kinds.
There's some little ones, there's big dogs.
They just hang 10 or 20 or whatever they do.
They got 4 legs. It's easier for them to balance.
It's probably true. It's probably why they do so well. Anyway, folks, enjoy the weather. The temperatures at night are going to be very comfortable. In fact, tomorrow morning when you take the dog out, you're going to go, ooh, that feels good. Daytimes will be sunny and warm, but night times will be clear, dry, and cool for at least 2 days.
All right. It was nice to step outside this morning and feel that change in the air. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at